There are some days where I'm super excited about it because it's going so well, but I just have to acknowledge that there are days where it kind of sucks. It has been 504 days since I made that video and considered quitting real estate for good. And today I'm watching it back for the first time and sharing 3 lessons that I think are crucial for you guys as beginners in your journey so that you can overcome some of the obstacles that are sure to pop up. So I know this is weird, like not having something set to talk about. And I know you guys have come to expect from me, you know, like documenting my journey and what's going well for me, what's not, what, you know, just updates on what's happening. And I'm usually pretty high energy and pretty excited to talk about that stuff. And that's real because, you know, this is fun to me and I enjoy real estate. I enjoy the business aspect of trying to figure things out. And so I usually am like very, you know, bubbly and happy. And that's how I think I come across in these videos. And I just feel like I don't have that today. And I hadn't even planned to film a video right now. I'm supposed to be going live on Instagram in like 20 minutes for the Q&A session. And I'm still going to, but I really just needed to sit down and kind of use this channel less to talk about what I'm doing and like what's happening and more just like how I'm feeling. And so, yeah, I appreciate you guys. If anyone's watching this still, I appreciate you guys just listening to how I'm feeling. All right, so something really interesting is like looking at my setup, right? Like my setup has changed quite a bit. And I guess the first lesson would be like, don't be afraid to invest in yourself a little bit, right? Like I think I'm almost positive I filmed this on my phone, you know, in a spare bedroom where actually, I think this was the corner of my bedroom. I don't even think this was a spare bedroom. Like my bed is just out of the camera frame here. I hadn't upgraded my lighting, I hadn't upgraded my camera, etc., etc. And it's not to say that you have to spend a bunch of money on your business, but I'm just using kind of this YouTube analogy as a way to say like, when I saved up and spent the money on that camera, I started filming more videos, right? Because it's like, I invested in this, let me make some dang videos and get something back out of it. You know, rather than just like, oh, I'll film when I want to, there's my phone, it doesn't matter. And I just feel like if you invest in your real estate business, right? If you're like, I'm gonna do this 7-day free trial of Propstream, or I'm gonna pay for DealMachine for a month, and then you don't do anything with it, it's like, that doesn't make sense. So it's almost like investing in yourself can help propel you to take the action. It's like, shoot, I paid for it, right? I put in the work, I put in this time, I went driving for dollars for hours. I might as well cold call these leads. I might as well direct mail these leads, whatever it is. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself and maybe even use that investment as a little bit of a push to help you take action. Basically, just today wasn't a good day. Like today wasn't fun. And it's not that I did anything differently. I actually got a property under contract yesterday, submitted earnest money today, went to the property with my contractor, got the video walkthrough, like did a lot of the just normal stuff that I do on every property. But when I sent it out to my buyers list, I thought I had a great deal. You know, I thought I ran the numbers correctly. I thought I did things right. And I just got a lot of people who were saying like, this is a crap deal, basically. And I mean, that's fine. Like, I'm not above being wrong. Like, I've never, you know, tried to come off like an expert or like I don't make mistakes. I've tried to, you know, let you guys know and let everyone know, even my cash buyers, like, hey, I've done my work, like I've done my research and I'm working on putting it into practice, and I'm a beginner. And I think that that's why I like doing this YouTube channel so much, is because I'm not trying to like be an expert, right? I don't feel the pressure to be an expert. Like I can tell you guys when a deal goes well, and I can also tell you guys when like I mess up and a deal goes poorly for whatever reason. And I think that that is the true, like my true motivation behind making the channel is not necessarily to like show my successes, right? I want to show my successes. I want to share that with you guys, but also to just truly like bring you guys along with me. And it's tough when, yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that. So this kind of makes me think about beginners have it tough, right? Like, you may not know everything, you don't have the connections, like beginners have it tough. It was harder then to do deals and to talk to the right people and get the right people to talk to me, etc., than it is now. And it's just, I guess, human nature of wanting people to kind of prove themselves before people really help you. And so a piece of advice, like something I think y'all could take away from this, especially if you haven't done your first deal yet, is to show you've done the work in some other way, right? Whether it be get really good at just like having conversations with motivated sellers and be the best cold caller out there, right? And bring value in that way, even if you're not yet bringing deals. You can watch my side hustle video, and maybe you speak 2 languages. Maybe you speak English and Spanish, and a lot of the contractors in your area speak Spanish, and you go to an investor and be like, hey, I'm a wholesaler, but I also speak Spanish. So if I'm learning more about construction, if you need help communicating with your contractors or managing your contractors, I'm your guy, I'm your gal, right? So I just think like showing that you've put in the work in some way. People want to help people who help themselves. So show you've helped yourself by putting in some work, whether it be a side hustle, whether it be getting really good at cold calling, getting really good at running the numbers, whatever it is. It's hard to walk into the door and just be like, everyone help me, right? And I think I had a little bit of that where I was just like, I'm new, help me. But I think you can speed up the process for yourself if you're like, I'm new, but I can still help you like this, and in exchange, here's how you can help me by buying these deals off me, right? Whatever it might be.
But yeah, anyway, so I got some like responses from my buyers that like, this is a crap deal, I don't know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And I think part of that is just like a general frustration with new wholesalers that I feel from investors.
I got an ad. I'm not gonna skip my own ad. This is paying me right now. All right, cool.
That I feel from investors. And there's a lot of dynamics at play because you've got agents, you've got investors, you've got wholesalers, and sometimes those can be 3 different people, and they all feel, and then you've got the homeowners themselves, and everybody feels a certain type of way about everyone else. And I mean, when you're buying and selling something and you're trying to negotiate on price and value, of course, there might be, you know, some bad vibes included in that. But I remember like the very first realtor that I talked to and like seriously was submitting an offer on a deal that like I was confident about, it didn't even go through. The seller didn't accept the offer. But after that entire process, the agent was like, Lili, you're so nice. She's like, all the other investors I talked to are so mean. Like, and I was like, really? Are they mean? Are they abrupt? Right? Or is it just, you know, I didn't know what to make of it. But I was like, thanks. Like, I appreciate it. I'm glad to build that relationship with an agent. And again, being upfront, letting her know, like, I'm going to assign this to, you know, a cash buyer. Once I started meeting and talking with more investors, I think I kind of understood where she was coming from, in that oftentimes you're dealing with people that have a lot of money, and especially for myself, I'm dealing with people that are not like me. I mean, you could take that to mean whatever you want it to mean, but it's 100% true. I mean, there's not a lot of people my age, there's not a lot of women, there's not a lot of black people, and then there's not a lot of young black women. And so I definitely feel, and not from everyone, right?
So this trend has continued. Like, I've met a lot of people who are great, who are awesome, who I've made connections with, whether it be people in my market, people through the YouTube community, like other investors, people through Instagram, right? And then I've also met people who are like gatekeepers, like, nope, stay out, we don't want you here, you know, whatever it might be. You gotta have some tough skin. Like, business is business, and I'm not gonna stop because so-and-so doesn't like it. Maybe they just don't like it because I'm buying deals that they wish they could buy, right? But whatever it is, you gotta have some tough skin, and I didn't have very tough skin at this point. And it's okay to get upset, right? Like, I still get upset about deals. I felt it a lot, you know? Maybe I was too attached to like this one deal and people's opinion of this one deal, not realizing that like there's always more deals, there's always more opportunities coming. And if something doesn't work out, like, take your lumps, take the lessons from it, and like move on and apply it to the next one, because there's more coming.
I've had so many great experiences and met so many great investors who have been willing to help me, who have, you know, recognized that I know what I'm doing, even if I'm just getting started. But on the flip side, just like with anything else, I've met a lot of investors who I get it. You know, when I hear an agent say, these investor guys are jerks, I get it. But then on the other hand, I hear investors who are upset because they're like, these wholesalers don't know what they're doing. And I get it too, because it's not like you have to be licensed to be a wholesaler. Legality, different states, blah, blah, blah. But in general, you don't need a license to, you know, try to wholesale. And so,
okay, I get this too. I love that wholesaling has a low barrier to entry because people like me, people like you, anybody can get in if you're willing to put in some work. But it's something I said in past videos, like no investment, or wait, no money needed. Technically, you can do a deal without having any money. You don't have to spend money. In some situations you will, you might spend some. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. No money needed or little money needed doesn't mean no investment needed or little investment needed. Like, you have to put in the work, because at the end of the day, you are telling someone either I can buy your house, or I can help buy your house, I can help sell your house, or I have a partner who's gonna buy your house. Like, houses are big time assets. Like, a lot of times this is the biggest asset that somebody owns, and if you're telling them that you're gonna help them in this transaction with it, and you don't know what you're doing, or you ghost on them, or things just don't work out and you don't communicate to them honestly, like, you can mess things up for somebody. And I'm gonna make a future video about these new regulations that are coming up against wholesaling, and I see two sides of it. I see the one side of like, yo, unethical wholesalers can hurt people, right? True. I don't think it goes as far as to like wholesalers are coercing people to sell their houses. If you don't want to sell your house, don't sell your house. Like, you do not have to sign the contract. You don't have to show up to closing and sign again, right? Like, I think that is But I think one side of it is there's not a lot of regulation, and so it can get out of control with people just saying things to sellers that's dishonest. And then the other side I see is that it's threatening to a real estate agent, and that's why the National Association of Realtors, in my opinion, is coming after the wholesalers, right? Because they view us as competition, David and Goliath, and they're like, we're gonna stomp y'all out. And that's the side that I think is crap. But I do think there is something to like, don't put homeowners in a bad situation. Don't put cash buyers in a bad situation by sending them deals that you don't have under contract, right? Just be honest. And yeah, it might be a little harder when you're being honest, but at least you're being honest and you're not hurting people. So I do get the frustration with wholesalers sometimes from one angle, but I also think some of it is misplaced, and it's just competition, and don't want, you know, young, hungry people to come into the industry and displace the people that maybe have been in it for a while but don't like the competition.
And so there are some people out there trying to do it with not enough information and doing it incorrectly. And I get that frustration because it does make it harder on the people who want to do it correctly. So I get that from the investors too. Like, I can sympathize with that. But then I'm looking at how all these other people feel, and I'm still thinking, well, real estate is an asset. It's a wealth building asset. And I think that more people should be involved in it. I mean, just look at the state of things in terms of people's livelihoods and like people's financial futures. Like, I want to be a part of helping more people get financially stable, and eventually, you know, like big dreams, like building that affordable housing, and you know, being someone who can try to make positive change, right? And like, I know all of that is down the road once I kind of really get this thing rolling, but it seems like all of these.
So yeah, that just reminds me, like, don't lose track of your why. I think that's a really good lesson, because here I'm upset, but I'm talking about like wanting to build affordable housing, wanting to teach people how to build more financial freedom into their lives, and that truly does like motivate me and keep me going through those tough times. So whatever it is for you, maybe you want to retire your mom or your parents, or maybe you want to start a college fund for your little sibling or your nieces, your nephews. Maybe you want to, you know, spend more time with your kids while they're young and in the house. Whatever it is, just remember that. So that's the thing that's going to like keep revving your engine, because there will be ups and downs. So during those downs, you got to have something to get you back up.
And so it's tough to know, like, how to stay motivated. And it's not just like the negative feedback from a couple of buyers. I think it's just like, that's just like, you know, the what is the phrase? Like the straw that broke the camel's back. Like that's just like the one thing today. But I think I've been feeling like this thing is difficult to just get off the ground and to navigate this real estate investing world. For me, it might be easier for some other people, right? And I hope, like, you know, people are finding great success with it. And there are some days where I'm super excited about it because it's going so well.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'ma always try to keep it a buck with you. When people say like, easy money, this is easy, blah, blah. It's simple, not easy. That's not to say it's ridiculously hard brain surgery, ridiculously hard become a rocket scientist. No, it's not. It's simple, but it does take work. And so I think, like, if somebody's trying to sell you on it's easy, it's easy, it's easy, check their ulterior motives, because it's not easy. And when you go into something expecting it's easy and then it's not, it's easy to give up. I say easy a lot there. But when you're like, hey, this is gonna take work, I'm committed to doing that work, and then you go into it and you hit some obstacles, you've already committed to it, you already knew it was coming, so it's easier to stick with it at that point.
Because it's going so well, but I just have to acknowledge that there are days where it kind of sucks. So yeah, I don't know what this means. I'm not quitting, right? Like, I'm not gonna not keep going, both for myself and to keep documenting how things change for you guys. But like, that was a thought in my head today, like, man, this sucks. Like, should I just stop? Because either I'm not doing it right or I'm not having fun or blah, blah, blah. But those moments are fewer and far between than the moments where it's a lot of fun analyzing deals and like, for example, like helping a property owner who can't sell their house to a traditional buyer and they need cash, they need it quick, and I can come in and solve a problem for them, and also solve a problem for an investor who's looking for a property but doesn't have time to go out and find it. Like, and just learning the process of like getting to financial freedom through real estate, documenting it for you guys, like connecting with you guys mostly over like on Instagram and hearing your success stories and your wins. All of that definitely outweighs the moments where I kind of don't feel great about it. And I think that I'm glad I made this video, because I'm kind of coming to that realization now that I do still really enjoy those things. But I think I don't want this channel to put out an image that once you start, like, everything's gonna go perfectly and everything's gonna go smoothly and it's gonna be, you know, cotton candy and rainbows every single day, because it's not. And I think maybe starting off with that perspective and going into it with that perspective and kind of looking forward to the great days, embracing yourself for the not so great days, I think might make it easier.
That was a word, Lili, from the past. Looking forward to the great days, embracing yourself for the not so great ones. Okay, a word.
To really, you know, like I said, like, change your life through real estate investing and achieve that financial freedom, and hopefully bring more people with you as you walk down that path. Because that's what I'm trying to do, right? It's like, I'm not standing at the end of the path saying, hey guys, come meet me over here, or this is how I got here. It's more so just like, hey guys, I'm gonna walk in that direction towards something. Does anybody want to join me? And so for me, that takes a lot of the pressure off to be perfect and to do things with like this get rich quick or quick success journey. And it makes it easier to connect with you guys and hopefully be in this thing for the long haul and be able to look back on videos like this and days like this and say, man, like, can you believe I felt that way about one deal that people didn't like? You know, hopefully I'll get to the point where, yeah, that's just like a silly thought to me. I don't know. Thanks for watching this, guys. I appreciate it. I feel better. So thanks for letting me use it.
Sometimes you just need to talk stuff out. But yeah, I barely remember what deal that was. I mean, I remember it because I made a video about it, but it's insignificant in the long run. And I mean, it taught me a lot. I learned from that. If you want to hear about a time when another wholesaler stole my deal, definitely going to want to check out this video right here. Links are in the description.